The sleep paralysis. My dad had recently gotten a promotion at work, but it meant relocating, so my family moved to a new home a few states over. The new house is definitely nicer than our old one. I don't have to share a room with my brother anymore, and my sisters each have their own rooms, which has made them really happy. It's an older two-story house, but it has character. I picked a bedroom on the second floor. I couldn't wait to make this space my own. The move went smoothly and my family settled in pretty quickly. The neighborhood is friendly and the neighbors welcomed us warmly. The hardest part for me was getting used to the new school. Transferring halfway through the year is always tough, but luckily some classmates took me under their wing and made the transition easier. A couple of weeks went by and I thought I was finally settling in, but then something strange started happening. Every night I would wake up in the middle of the night and find myself completely unable to move. At first I thought it was just a weird dream, but it kept happening and I knew I was awake, just paralyzed. Being conscious and unable to control my body felt like being trapped in my own skin, a terrifying feeling of complete helplessness. Curious and a bit frightened, I started looking into it. I found out that what I was experiencing was called sleep paralysis. The articles I read said it was harmless, just the body being stuck between sleep and wakefulness. But as I kept digging deeper, I came across theories that terrified me. Some people believe that sleep paralysis was caused by a ghost or demonic entity sitting on the chest of the victim, pinning them down. I wanted so badly to believe the rational explanations, but the more it happened, the more doubt crept in. Every night the fear and panic grew. I began dreading sleep, staying awake as long as I could to avoid it. The exhaustion took a toll on me. I became moody, barely ate, and started losing weight. I felt like I was losing my mind. One day, my friend from school, Mike, noticed how rough I looked.
Hey man, are you okay? You look like you've been hit by a truck.
I hesitated, then decided to open up. I've been having these weird episodes of sleep paralysis. It's like I'm awake, but I can't move, and it happens every single night. Mike's face softened.
I've heard of that. My cousin had it for a while. It sounds terrifying.
It is, I admitted, but it's more than that. I read some stuff online about ghosts or demons sitting on your chest. Mike nodded thoughtfully.
I've heard stories too. Some say you should try moving just a finger first. Once you get that, it's easier to move the rest. Or keep a knife under your pillow. Supposed to ward off spirits. And don't let them break you down. You've got to be stronger than they are.
I had nothing to lose, so I decided to give his advice a try. That night, I placed a small knife under my pillow. As soon as I laid down, I could feel the exhaustion pulling me under. I fell asleep instantly, but sure enough, I woke up in the middle of the night, paralyzed. I focused everything I had on moving just one finger. It felt like an eternity, but finally I twitched my pinky. Relief flooded over me, and soon I could move my whole hand, then my arm, and finally, my legs. I broke free from the paralysis, breathing heavily but triumphant. I repeated the routine night after night. Each time I found myself trapped in that terrifying state, I concentrated harder, escaping quicker with each attempt. Soon, I could break free in mere seconds. My confidence grew, and eventually the sleep paralysis stopped altogether. I felt like I had won, that my will was stronger than whatever dark force had been haunting me. Life returned to normal. My strength was back, and I felt like myself again. I even began to forget about the nightmares. One morning, as I got out of bed, I felt more refreshed than ever. I headed downstairs, feeling invincible, but then I heard a faint whisper behind me. Startled, I turned around too quickly, missing a step. The next thing I knew, I was tumbling down the stairs, hitting the ground with a sickening thud. Everything went black, but I could still hear, still feel. My mind drifted in and out of consciousness, trapped between waking and dreaming. I couldn't move. I couldn't open my eyes. Sometimes I heard my family talking to me. Other times, a voice I didn't recognize, probably a doctor. I felt like I was in a hospital. I heard the doctor say, "There's no spinal or neck damage. I can't explain why he can't move or open his eyes." I wanted to scream, to tell them I knew the reason. I could feel it. The heavy, malevolent presence pressing down on me, its sinister laughter echoing in my ears, mocking me.
Thank you for listening to this terrifying twist tale. Please support this channel by liking and subscribing.